All right, welcome to the Sweet Talk. Today is Monday, May 18th, 2020, and I am your host, Kim Matina. I am an author. I am the author of Stepping Up to Google Classroom, the book that Alice Keeler and I wrote. I am a gold product expert for the Google for Education team and a Google certified trainer and educator. And today, I'm so happy to have on my show Miss Jessilyn Swanson. And Miss Jessilyn Swanson comes to us from Ontario, Canada. And she is a junior high school math classroom teacher. And she is also a Google certified innovator, trainer, and educator. And her passion is to change the way we view failure and inspire others to take greater risks and fail forward into greater opportunities. I love that. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Kim. Thanks for having me.
Oh no, thank you. It's my pleasure. I'm so glad that we were able to connect. I know it's been a while. You've been scheduled for a while, and so I'm glad that we were able to connect. These days, the computer and the remote learning and virtual learning are really demanding on us. So I'm glad that we had the energy to connect. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks. It's actually a long weekend up here in Canada, so I had lots of energy today. I was able to put the computer away, and we enjoyed some time outside. So this is exciting to look forward to. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right. Well, like you said, I'm from Canada. I'm actually from Alberta, Canada, but that's okay. That's okay. Out west in Canada, I have been teaching junior high, middle school math for the last 10 years. I am a mom to two little hooligans, a 5-year-old and an almost 3-year-old, both girls, and a wife to a big hooligan who's a skateboarder. And we are actually looking at a cross-country move here coming up this summer out to Vancouver to the West Coast. So yeah, all the craziness in the time of COVID-19. Life is not slowing down. So yeah, that's who I am.
Yeah, well, that's good. I wish you the best of luck with all that and those adventures. So today, I know you have a lot to offer. You're going to talk about Planboard and Equatio, the Math Chrome extension. So I really don't have any idea what Planboard is. So I'm really curious to hear about it. Why don't you start with Planboard?
Okay, so I'm going to let you into my life. I am not a very organized person. So last school year, not this school year, the school year before, we start school right after Labor Day here. So first week of September. And I went into the school and got everything kind of set for Tuesday. And then I got home and I could not find my planner anywhere. I couldn't find my book with all my plans I had for the first week of school, and I was panicking. I was like, where did I put this? We ripped the house apart. I went back to the school, ripped the school apart. No, I have no idea. To this day, don't know where that binder went. And so
really?
I had to,
oh my goodness.
I think I might have put it on top of my car and drove away or something. I don't know. Mom brain. So anyway, I looked high and low. I was like, hey, I got to find an online planner because I can't remake my paper planner in one weekend. So I found Planboard and I fell madly in love as soon as I found it.
Some things happen for a reason, right?
Totally. Yes, it was totally serendipitous. So Planboard is a free online planner. And one of the things I really love about it, so first of all, it's free. And then second of all, it's on all platforms, so web and mobile. But you have the ability to set your own timetable and actually import all of your standards for your curriculum right into the courses that you're teaching. So as you're planning all of your lessons, it keeps a checklist of which standards you've covered. And that's amazing for me, teaching all different levels of math and, trying to keep everything straight and focus more on, the standards that I'm covering instead of just doing fun activities, which is great. But, you want to know what the purpose is for the things you're doing. It's also really nice when you're being evaluated and you have to, give evidence of what standards you're covering. It's right there. And then also all of your plans can be made with the click of a button into a PDF for sub plans for those times when, you can't make it into the school because you're so sick or your kid's sick in the middle of the night. And so Easy just makes it into a PDF. So if I can share my screen real quick.
Oh, definitely. Please do.
Then we will walk ourselves right through Planboard. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So Planboard is by a company called Chalk. And so basically you just would hit login here. You can log in with your Google or, different accounts. Oh, I thought I was going to sneeze there for a second. All right. So sorry. So in all honesty, I haven't used my Planboard since we went everything online. It's just been, survival mode, but I'm going to take you back to the days when I did use my Planboard, and I hope to use it again very soon. So, all right. So up here, you would first of all set your semester. So I have my school year set, but we'll pretend we're starting a new one. So you can either do a new semester, which you can make the full year, or if you're on a full year system, or semestered. You can name it whatever you want. Say what the start date is. So say we're going to start September 1st and end at the end of January. That's like what our semesters are here in Alberta. You choose which days you teach. So say you were doing something that was just like weekends or something like that, you can set your custom days of the week. And so then it's going to make your new semester. Then you need to add your subjects or non-teaching blocks. So say you are teaching math to grade 8 students, okay? You can choose, I'm super into color coding. Like I said, I'm not very organized. So everything I can do to keep things straight in my mind, I like to do that. So say I'm gonna choose, I like to use pink for math 8. And then you get to actually search for your curriculum. So I'm in Alberta. This is not just a Canadian tool. This is, so say you were going to say like common, would you search like Common Core?
Yeah.
Common Core Math for whatever it is. Now there are some curriculum sets that have been added by Chalk, which is like the company that created Planboard. And then you also saw here, when I first was searching for curriculum, I added a couple different ones myself so that it was worded exactly how I wanted it worded. So say I was looking at Alberta Math 8. Okay. And then if you have different sections that you're teaching, like say you have a couple different classes of Math 8, you can choose how many sections and color code those sections as well. So once you have all of your classes, I'll show you what my current semester looks like so you can actually see. This one I'm doing. So all of the different courses that I'm teaching, once you have all your courses in and you've added your curriculum to those things, then you can look here at your timetable and set your specific timetable and what it looks like.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is like your schedule.
Yeah. Yeah. So you make your schedule. It does take a little bit of setup at the beginning, but once you've got it set up now, and it's going to keep it all color coded for you. And so you've got your whole timetable. You can do custom times. Like, schools always have weird times. Like our lunch goes from 11:52 till 12:30, which, how like the minutes have to add up. And so it's never, my husband's always like, what time do you have lunch? Like, do you have 14 minutes today or 28? Like, it's like, how many minutes can you, do you have? And what minute do you have to be back? That's kind of funny. So you can set your timetable. So once you've done the background kind of setup of your Planboard, then you can actually head into what the Planboard looks like. So you can view it in day mode, week mode, or even by month. So you can kind of know, and you can look at like which classes you want to look at. I like to look at it in week mode because I like to kind of plan week by week. You can also look at like unit plans. So for different courses, then you can set up which units you're doing. And in those units, I think I was not nearly as organized this year as I was in years past, but you could do a full description of what that unit is going to look like. It integrates with your Google Drive, so you can upload any files you have from Drive for that unit. You also then can attach your curriculum standards for that unit right into there.
So the units are populated where? Like, is that the curriculum part?
You create your own unit.
You create your own unit. Okay.
Yeah. So I created my own based on like the strands in our math curriculum here. You could do it. I've done it differently in, say, like I made like a Hunger Games unit here for my,
I gotcha.
So you can it's kind of up to you. So then when you're planning, so you can, so we'll go here. You can title the lesson, add which unit it's in. You can import, if you have different lesson plans that you've created, you can use like lesson templates if you've created templates that you like to use. So say if I had like a simple math lesson template, then it's going to insert that, right?
All the headings in there.
Yeah.
The sections. Oh,
yeah. And so that's one that I made, right? You can copy lessons if it's like, oh, we didn't get to that. So you can shift a lesson forward, or if it's like, we had to move that up a day, you can shift those back and forth like that. You can print just PDFs of that lesson as well. Once you kind of know what your lesson is, you can go in and insert your standards then. So when you add it, say we're looking at a rational numbers lesson, it's going to put that right there for you. So you can see exactly what you're covering. And then any attachments. So if you have just like, a PDF of an activity, like a game or something, you can add it right there. If it's in your Drive, it'll come right from there. And then there's also, there's like a grade book part of this too, that if you create assessments, you can add them right into that as well. So this is like,
I can't believe this is free.
I know, it's crazy. So there is a paid version that if you have like a team teacher and you're co-teaching, if you want to like have a collaborative plan board that you both can kind of, or however many people can edit at the same time or have access to, then you have to pay for that. But like I had a student teacher this year and you can share the lesson.
Okay.
Like if you wanted to just make a PDF of it or a group of them, you could put it in your Google Classroom. Or just make a link
with Google Classroom. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this is really cool because then once you kind of create all of your lessons, right? Then if you need to make a sub plan, you can just click PDF and it will make a PDF of that. So I would always do like a PDF of just like the day. You can take attendance through here. There's like a little sticky note if you need to remember something. There's also calendar and task list that you can check them off as you go. So if you're creating a PDF, then you can decide, what you want it to look like. And this is new actually, since I have left the building and gone online and don't need to keep track of my lessons every single day because I'm planning by week for my students right now. But then it's going to create that PDF for you. And obviously I don't have this populated with lessons, but it just makes it nice and easy for you. You can save it as a link and just email it to the sub or to your secretary or whomever you're giving it to. And you can choose also in there to show the standards, like say if you need to give it to your administration so that they can, keep track of, how you're showing evidence. I know that's really big here, like showing evidence that you're actually covering curriculum, not just like doing a fun activity.
Right.
And so, let
me ask you this. So how do you share this with your administrator?
So you could, when you make that PDF, you can either just like make a PDF of it. It can make a link. Okay. Oh, that's a gold feature. So you can't do that. But so you could make, just like a PDF of it, create the PDF and then just attach it. Yeah. In an email. Yeah, for sure.
Is that what you do? Well, is that what you did?
Yeah, that's what I've always done. And I'll just like make like a folder maybe in my Google Drive and just put them there and then share that with my admin or with, a student teacher or substitutes. That's kind of what I've done. And so it's also just really nice. You can look back of like, way back in the days when we still were going to school.
Yeah.
Even perfect. This is like a day I had a sub. So that's perfect. I can just quickly make that PDF so you can see.
Wow, this is really like the interface is really intuitive. I'm shocked.
It is.
For a free tool to handle lesson plans, I'm impressed.
Yeah. And it's, like I said, it has the web platform, but also it has a really great mobile platform. So, if you're working on your iPad or you need to quickly on your phone when you're, like laying in bed sick and you need to just like type a couple things in there. It's the mobile interface is also really good too.
Okay. I might like look into this because like we have to like I created my own template in Google Docs for my lesson plan, and then I upload the link into a third-party tool that administration uses and checks and approves and all that. And but like I can certainly use this, take the PDF and then upload it as well, instead of using Google Docs. But like for me, my lesson plans aren't like technology. So I push in. So I kind of like I worry about the technology component.
Right.
And then the science teacher or the ELA teacher worry about their content. So I don't work with anyone. I just kind of do my own thing. But I really like this. I mean, I could see teachers using this more, and it keeps you like on track of what you're doing.
Yeah. So I really love that. Then
this
here
is really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So then here in when I click standards, I can look at all of the different, I can look at the different courses I'm teaching. And like I said, it keeps track of, as you click them and put them into your lessons, it keeps track then and tells you like how many you've covered out of how many you have. It keeps track of like in a little checklist here. So exactly, okay, I've covered that.
That's handy. Yeah, that's definitely. I keep track of the standards, the technology standards in a spreadsheet.
Yeah. And that's what I used to do too. But I just found that it's so intuitive. And, we like with our school, we have a different attendance management system and a different grade management system. But, if you were going to use the mark board, say I wanted to create a math assessment, you can choose what kind of assessment you're going to create. So whether it's a score or just check or no check, a rubric, or even just observational, that's like, you can upload the files, you can write that note about the student. Again, this is on the mobile version as well. Which students you want to use? I mean, I don't have, like I said, I don't use this for my students. So I don't have all their names put in here, but that way, it also keeps, it's like a one-stop shop. You can keep track of your note marks in here as well. If you don't, I know lots of people that just make those spreadsheets in like Drive or in Sheets. And so it kind of does it for you, which is really nice. Like I said, I'm not the most organized person. So when I find a tool that will organize things for me and I just have to, click a button, that is huge for me because I need something to take something off my plate. I don't have enough time.
Really quick question. Go back to the menu and then there was an attendance.
Yeah.
So you could take attendance in here too?
Yes,
if you had your students roster in here.
Yeah, you'd have to put your roster in and then you can take attendance that way too. Yeah.
Can you upload in bulk or like with a CSV file? Do you know? If you hit add students, what does it do?
Oh, that was in attendance. If you hit add students, then I think you should be able, if you do, you can copy and paste them in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't believe how easy that looks. And it's a very nice user-friendly interface.
Yeah, it looks nice. It's not, I like when things look good and when they are easy. And it just makes teachers we need something to make our life easier because we're already juggling so many balls in the air. And so if it's like, okay, if that's one thing I don't have to juggle, then it makes it a little easier to focus on, the things that matter that we want to focus on, the time with our students and the, planning, even just planning a cool activity instead of having to kind of try to keep track of everything in different places. I also can say I know my standards so much better than I did before. Just because they're always there. I always refer back to Planboard and look at, oh yeah, right, that's the exact wording of that. When it's not just buried in a curriculum document, it's right there as a list of a checklist, then it's super easy to make sure that everything aligns how it's supposed to.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. I mean, I'm always going to my PDF file to reference the standards. So yeah, that does make sense. And it kind of makes you select the standard, the more accurate standard, right?
Yes.
You're kind of going to pinpoint it a little bit better when it's listed like that, I guess. Oh, I'm going to try this. I'm definitely going to try it. I think it has a lot of potential. Really, it does have a lot of potential. You're using it and you're giving me great feedback. I'm going to try it. I want to see how I can use it and then share it with maybe the teachers in my school. Yeah, because everybody in my school, they're doing different things. Some are using Microsoft Word. Some of them are using Google Docs. And then some of them are creating their lesson plan in this application that the administrators, everybody's doing their own thing. So this might help other people. I'm going to definitely check it out.
Cool. Yeah. Hopefully it's helpful.
Yeah, definitely. I was curious to hear about it, and really it was definitely well worth it. So I'm glad that you shared. And now I know you wanted to share another tip or tool, Equatio Chrome extension. I love Equatio.
I love Equatio. So being a math teacher, I'm always looking for
live without it.
No, I don't know. Especially the higher you get in math, and you need to have powers and exponents and more complex things that you even just that silly division symbol.
Yeah.
My students are always like, I didn't know how to write divide. I'm like, well, you could have just used a dash, or as the slash. Yeah. But so it just it makes it so easy. So okay, so the big thing about Equatio is that it is a Chrome extension. So it works with Google Apps. Okay, so it works with docs and slides and sheets and forms. There's a free trial and then there's a paid version, but they actually have free for teachers always. So if you go to their website and even just Google Equatio free for teachers, then it's totally free for teachers always. It will not always be free for your students though. So that makes it it's great for creation of content. After that free trial, not as great with your students because it is limited. So that's kind of not my favorite thing. But when I'm creating materials, it makes it really easy. So if I quickly just go here, I'll share my screen in a sec. I'm just going to make a new Google Doc. Okay. So the big thing to note here is that you do have to have a Google Doc or slides or sheets or form open in order for it to work, because it's not an add-on, but it's an extension that works with them. So it's this once you've installed it in your your extension toolbar, it's this one here. You click it. Oops, double clicked it. So then it comes up with this little Equatio toolbar here at the bottom, where you've got the equation editor, which I love the predictive text. If you type out 5, and it's going to suggest the number 5, which is pretty cool. Even divide, it'll give you that. So that's in the equation editor. There's also, different, it integrates with Desmos. It does handwriting recognition. If you were to write something, it does speech input as well, which is so big for so many learners. It's so important to think about accessibility. And so that's huge. There's also that mobile version where you can take a picture of, say, a problem you've written out on paper, and it will make it digital for you. But for me, the real magic is here in the math space. So this is kind of like, it's kind of like Google Drawings, but for math. So I know, when you're trying to like create, I was making like we were looking at polynomials, and I was trying to make like a little garden that all of the lengths were polynomials, and just like to take a text box and like rotate it around sometimes is such a pain,
Right.
just little things like that you want to do. So within the math space now, it's going to create a photo file of whatever you're doing. So say we have like 5x squared plus 2x equal or plus 7. Okay, so we've just got a little polynomial. It'll insert that for you. Okay, then so you can easily insert just math, but then the really cool part here is that you can do freehand drawing, or they have different shapes. So just your basic shapes, but I always love those little dots because there's always going to be some kind of goodies. It's like the goodie bag.
More options, right?
Yeah. So there's lots of shapes, but then they've got coins, all right, and different denominations. In Canada, we're always looking for Canadian coins. We need our loonie, our toonie, and you don't have those coins in the US. So, we have dimes and we have quarters and everything just like you, but we need our loonies and toonies. So it's really cool that they have the Canadian and then UK, Australia, and New Zealand version. But then tangrams and 3D objects, then they've got, all of these different things, counting rods. So the opportunities to then show,
new.
Yeah, this is like, this is fairly new, but they, to give so many opportunities for creating manipulatives and making math visual is just so important. People talk about, this new math, the new way we're doing math, and it gets a bad rap. But it's like, if parents could just understand and kids could just understand, it's not a new way of doing math. It's just emphasizing understanding of content versus just being able to, spit out an algorithm. We want our kids to be able to apply understanding instead of just, spit it back out at us.
So how do you, okay, because I'm not a math person. So how do you visualize or represent this polynomial,
right. So
now?
So like, look, so there's algebra tiles.
Okay.
So if we look now, it will.
So what does that mean?
Okay, so here.
So did it do 5x?
No, yeah. No, so we can pull them all out. So yeah, so
okay.
we can pull all of them out, and then we can decide, which ones we want. And it's telling us here what each of them is. So this is an x squared. So we could then we should be able to.
So you would take like 5.
That one.
5
of these, and then two X's. These ones are X's, and then we would take 7 of these ones, right? And then you could say like the blue ones are negative, the red ones are positive, and so just different ways of, visualizing. I wanted to show too. There are some other really cool things in here that, so like in science, if you're building circuits, they can draw their circuits right in here. There's motors and all of these, like the switches, which I taught some science for a while. So that was pretty cool. Mirrors, different kinds of triangles. But then there were also, where are those? Pulleys and gears and coordinate planes, different fraction bars.
So this is kind of like your paper.
Yeah. So if you're making a material, then here in the smart shapes, then they've got, number lines, they've got a protractor. Wow. Just even like a compass, if you're saying, okay, then you can edit what angle you want it to be and which way you want it to go. And so then once you've created this whole thing that you want to create, then you just click insert math. And if it's working today,
it inserts it as an image.
Yeah, it puts it into your thing as an image. So I don't know why it's not doing it right now. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it inserts it as an image that has a clear background. So now you can you could just stick that in your in your doc or on a slide, and then then you've got this visual representation or whatever you've created for your students as a material.
Wow.
Your students can, if your district were to purchase or your school were to purchase a license then for students, then they can also use these tools to show their learning as well.
So this is free for teachers though?
Yes, 100% free for teachers, yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. I had no idea, excuse me, about the math space. I heard about it, but I never really, looked into it. I didn't explore any of it. I'm not a math person, so I just kind of find the tools for the teachers and then I hand it to them, give them a little introduction. But that math space is unbelievable. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool. And it just, sometimes you're so limited by pictures you can find, to screenshot something, or you just, you're limited by what you can create. And so for me, that just creates an opportunity that you can create anything, any kind of content that you need for your students, you can make it. And it's actually pretty easy and quick.
So that's pretty cool that you did that, because, with remote learning, virtual learning now, you can create your own workspace and record it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can, if you had a tablet or touchscreen device, you can manipulate the math workspace with your manipulatives, and you can record your explanation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's awesome. Wow. Yeah. I'm really glad that you showed that. That's definitely something. That's a gem.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said before, I'm all about finding tools that make my life easier and that make other teachers' lives easier, because we have enough to juggle in a normal classroom environment. And now it's I hear things about, what are teachers even doing? They hit the jackpot with an early summer. It's I would give anything to deal with my 30, 14-year-olds in my classroom again, because this is way worse. This is way harder. And so, I think if we can just put some of those things aside, and so we don't have to juggle so much, then that's a win-win for everybody.
Exactly. We're all in this together. So we have to try to help each other and support each other. And that's why, I started to do the Sweet Talk, because that's how I feel too, so we're all in this together. And it's nice that you shared 2 tools that were extraordinarily helpful, and I'm glad that you came on today. So thanks, Jess. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
I know I'm going to share both of the tools out to my staff, and especially I was connected with one of the math teachers today, and I'm definitely going to show her the math space, the math workspace in Equatio, because I wasn't aware of that. So I'm going to pay it forward, push it along to the math teachers, especially the one that I spoke to today, in hopes that it'll help her with the remote learning and getting her content out to her kids too. So I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me today. This was really fun. I'm glad that we could do this.
Fun. I'm so glad that you came on. So that concludes the show tonight. What I'm going to do real quick is share my screen and show you my website. So can you see my screen?
Yep.
All right. So if you go to thesweettalk.com, you'll come to the homepage. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm actually giving away a free copy of my book, Stepping Up to Google Classroom. The drawing ends tonight. So subscribe to my YouTube channel and maybe you'll win. I'm also on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Google Podcast as well. And you can subscribe to the newsletter. The latest episode will be posted here. If you want to purchase the Stepping Up to Google Classroom book, that's also here, and you can find that on Amazon. If you'd like to be a guest on my show, please fill out this guest inquiry form, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Right now, I'm scheduling for August. If you like my show and you want to help support my mission, you can become a sponsor. Just fill out this form here, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Any past episodes are on the episode page. You can watch any episodes that I have here. The show notes are here as well. Jamboard, if Jamboard's a great app to use for math, Jess.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you can definitely utilize Jamboard for the math class or any type of whiteboard activity. You can check out that as well. All of my Jamboard resources are here, and I created this idea board for Jamboard, and basically it gives you a lot of ideas on how you can use it in the classroom, and in addition to different presentations on learning goals and templates that you can use for different styles, jam files. So you can check that out as well. But that really concludes our show tonight. So I want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much. I look forward to maybe doing it again sometime.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe one that's not so hectic.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. And until next time, thanks for tuning in.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.